These colorful, sensual oil paintings on canvas are the work of famous Chinese contemporary artist Chen Laote. The proceeds from the sale of these pictures are going to charity under the auspices of the project Art for Love. The man behind this project is Chao Xianyang.
It's about raising money, combining contemporary Chinese artists and charities from across the world, raising money to help people around the world.
While Chao Xin runs a marketing business here, his family in China work with contemporary artists. This opens the door for him to use his marketing expertise to promote an exhibition here.
Chen's work has an amazing energy. It sparkles on the canvas. This comes from his choice of colour, from his composition, and from the way he applies paint to the surface of the canvas. Chen is widely collected in China. He's been acknowledged in China for his amazing painting ability with some very impressive awards. His works in China, the larger ones like we have here, sell for upwards of $45,000 New Zealand.
And he's a very generous artist and who is very established in China, and he donated his work to be sold in New Zealand for the very first time to raise money for Ray Avery's charity, Médecins Mondiaux.
Médecins Mondiaux is a development agency that supports technologies which help major healthcare issues in developing countries. Ray Avery is the brains behind the agency.
I gave up art for the ability to do good work with science, but my heart is always in the art arena, and it was nice that the guys who put together the exhibition chose us as a recipient for the first inaugural Art for Love, which we hope is going to become an international event. Many of the diseases that we see in developing countries are not being addressed by governmental organisations or by other aid organisations. So our aim is to make big changes to health care implementation in developing countries, come up with clever ideas that fix big problems.
Back at the exhibition, this first show is declared a success. Chao Xin hopes this might be the first of many.
We are currently in discussion with a number of charities from across the world. We'll work with them the same way we're working with Ray's charity and raise money for them and the people they're trying to help.
Like Chen Laote, artist Hong Guangzhan is also a well-respected Chinese artist. Horse, monkey, kangaroo, or lion, his love and respect for animals is clearly evident in his work. Graduating from the Academy of Fine Arts in Beijing, his traditional ink paintings became popular in art magazines and galleries.
I've had an affiliation towards animals from a young age, and this relationship is expressed through my drawings. I seek to portray the manifestation of the human spirit by using animals symbolically to illustrate that point.
His considerable success allowed him to travel, and 7 years ago, he moved to New Zealand for a better lifestyle. But lifestyle wasn't enough, and his hunger for new areas in art drove him to study oils at Auckland University.
Chinese painting use material is different. The idea, the philosophy, Chinese art from 5,000 years ago.
Released from a classical tradition, Hong Guan began to experiment with a more free style of expression, fusing Chinese painting techniques with Western ideas.
He decided to try and transform the Western oil paint into a kind of a Chinese ink. And what he did was started to mix oil and resin into the oil paint to make it much, much more liquid than people would perhaps normally use it. And so by doing that, I think he created a kind of a breakthrough for himself, and I think an interesting breakthrough in its, generally.
Hong Guang used this unique technique for this early collection of New Zealand work, Blue Monkeys.
Monkey represent human being is very easy. Yeah, a lot of thinking and activity like the human being. I like people to think more thinking, so I keep the background is white.
And I think his final year at school, he pretty much painted blue monkeys. I was amazed at Hongguan's abilities to spend days and days and days at the zoo or in front of books or whatever, just simply drawing monkeys. And this, I think, is something that is becoming more and more unfamiliar, in contemporary art, is this notion of drawing in order to get to know something.
So it came as no surprise that the Blue Monkey series was included in his first exhibition in Auckland after graduation. And his paintings have become highly regarded. Both Australia and New Zealand Post have featured his paintings on their stamps.
I don't worry about the market. Yeah, creative is important for me.
At present, he's busy turning out paintings for his next exhibition later this year, but this time back in China. He'll be taking his new distinctive style and a little New Zealand culture back to his former home.